Everything you thought you knew about Monty's empire is about to collapse. Betrayals, secrets, and rivalries are about to explode, and the only thing certain is that nobody is safe. Landman, Season 3 isn't just a continuation, it's a reckoning. Cammy, Tommy, Nate, and the rest of the crew are about to face challenges that will test not just their ambitions, but their very survival. From hidden agendas to shocking new alliances, this season will push every character to the edge and leave you questioning who you can trust. Hold on to your seats because the stakes are higher than ever, and the fallout from last season's finale is just the beginning. The aftermath of Season 2 left everyone reeling, and Season 3 wastes no time in plunging straight into chaos. Cammy is at the center of it all, and this is her turning point. Losing Monty not only stripped her of her husband, but also ripped away the identity she had built around him and his legacy. Her obsession with keeping Mtex alive has become both her armor and her cage. She believes that pushing forward alone will prove her strength, but in reality, it's isolating her from the very people who once stood by her. Tommy's departure was the most devastating blow. Firing him wasn't just a business decision, it was a fracture in the foundation of Mtex. Nate's loyalty is unquestionable, but even he struggles to bridge the widening gap, and Cammy's insistence on moving forward without him is setting the stage for major missteps. The discovery of the mysterious documents Monty left behind adds another layer of tension. These aren't ordinary papers, they are fragments of Monty's secret strategy, hidden carefully to prevent anyone from seeing the full picture. Cammy's curiosity is piqued, but every step she takes to uncover the truth risks unraveling the empire Monty built. Nate warns her to dig deeper, to understand why Monty hid these secrets, but the pressure of leadership and the weight of her grief make every decision feel like walking a tightrope over a pit of fire. The audience will see Cammy's struggle in vivid detail. Her determination is admirable, but it is also her vulnerability. She is at a crossroads. Continue alone and risk everything, or finally accept help and potentially betray her own pride. Meanwhile, Tommy's new path is equally compelling. After leaving Mtex, he doesn't falter. His resilience, combined with a natural business instinct, allows him to seize an opportunity that many thought impossible. Partnering with Galino and presenting a bold new business idea, Tommy turns setbacks into fuel for a massive comeback. The tension here is palpable because the audience knows that while Tommy gains a new foothold, Cammy is losing ground. Every victory Tommy achieves is a silent wound to Cammy's ego, and the rivalry promises to be both personal and professional, escalating in ways that will keep viewers on edge. CTT, the newly formed powerhouse led by Tommy, Cooper, and Thomas, is a symbol of this new era. Each character brings a distinct strength. Tommy's calculated risk-taking, Cooper's strategic leadership, Rebecca's sharp legal mind, Nate's financial expertise, Dale's operational genius, Thomas's drilling acumen, and Ariana's organizational skill. Together, they represent a formidable challenge not just to Mtex, but to Cammy herself. The writing emphasizes the contrast between Mtex's internal struggle and the externally growing threat of CTT, creating tension that will thread through the entire season. The audience will feel the push and pull of power dynamics at every turn, watching as alliances are tested, ambitions collide, and the old order begins to crumble. Season 3 doesn't shy away from exploring the human cost of ambition. Cammy's obsession, Tommy's drive, and Nate's loyalty are all under scrutiny. Viewers will see the personal stakes, including relationships strained to breaking points, decisions made in desperation, and the constant shadow of Monty's legacy influencing every action. The narrative dives deep into these conflicts, revealing that no character can escape the consequences of last season's choices. By the end of Section 1, the tension is sky-high. Cammy is isolated and vulnerable, Tommy is gaining unstoppable momentum, and the mysterious documents hint at revelations that could change everything. The stage is set for a season where power, betrayal, and revenge intertwine, promising a roller coaster of suspense that leaves the audience desperate to know what happens next. If you want, I can immediately continue with Section 2, keeping the same intensity and writing in full detail, pushing the suspense, and diving deeper into Tommy's rise, Cammy's vulnerabilities, and the looming threats. While Cammy grapples with the remnants of her old empire, Tommy is on an unstoppable upward trajectory, turning every setback from Mtex into a strategic advantage. CTT isn't just a new company, it's a statement, a declaration that the old rules no longer apply. Tommy's confidence in front of Galino was more than bravado. It was the calm precision of a man who has seen the worst and refused to break. With $44 million in new investments secured, he isn't just building a business, he's building a fortress, and every move he makes is designed to protect what matters most: his son, Cooper, and the legacy he wants to craft for the future. This season will showcase Tommy's evolution from a man reacting to circumstances to a leader shaping them. His ambition is tempered by a fierce protective instinct, and that duality makes him both magnetic and dangerous. The tension between Tommy and Cammy becomes the heartbeat of Season 3. Every decision Cammy makes, driven by grief, pride, or desperation, seems to play into Tommy's hands, even when that isn't his intention. And the audience will feel that push and pull acutely, because the stakes are as personal as they are professional. When Tommy negotiates deals, strategizes with Cooper, or rallies his team, it's not just business. It's a demonstration of the kind of leadership Cammy once held alone, and one she thought she would never see challenged. Every conversation, every confrontation carries the weight of the past, reminding viewers that old alliances can fracture in a heartbeat. Meanwhile, the mysterious documents Monty left behind start to reveal their importance. These aren't simply secrets. They are keys to understanding the complex web of Monty's empire, including deals, rivalries, and hidden leverage that could make or break the future of Mtex. Cammy, determined to uncover the truth, dives headfirst into this dangerous game, but each discovery brings her closer to potential ruin. Nate's warnings grow louder with every step, emphasizing that knowledge without support can be deadly. This tension will create nail-biting suspense for the audience as they anticipate not only Cammy's next move, but also the unforeseen consequences that could ripple across every character's life. Season 3 also deepens the interpersonal drama. Tommy's relationships with Cooper, Thomas, and Rebecca are tested in ways that highlight his growth as a leader and a father. He must balance trust with caution, loyalty with pragmatism, and ambition with morality. CTT's team dynamics offer rich opportunities for both conflict and camaraderie, showing how high-pressure environments bring out the best and worst in people. Cooper's youthful idealism, Thomas's calculated logic, and Rebecca's unwavering integrity serve as mirrors to Tommy's evolving persona, giving the audience insight into how a team forged in risk can redefine success. Every character's decisions carry weight, and even small missteps can cascade into chaos. At the same time, Cammy's isolation becomes a crucible for her character. The loss of Tommy's support, coupled with Galino's conditional loyalty, leaves her in a precarious position. The audience will feel the tension of her desperation, her attempts to maintain control over Mtex, and her increasing reliance on intuition rather than counsel. Her obsession with preserving Monty's vision blinds her to emerging threats, making her vulnerable to both external competition and internal collapse. The looming threat of Tommy's rising influence intensifies every scene, creating a continuous sense of suspense that drives the narrative forward. By the end of Section 2, the stage is set for a full-scale power struggle. Tommy's momentum and strategic genius are pitted against Cammy's pride and grief-driven persistence. Every alliance is tested, every trust is questioned, and every decision carries life-altering consequences. Viewers will be hooked by the unfolding battle, understanding that the stakes are far more than corporate. They are deeply personal, shaping the destinies of everyone involved. Season 3 promises a relentless exploration of ambition, loyalty, and survival, leaving audiences on edge as they witness who will rise, who will fall, and what sacrifices will be demanded along the way. I can now continue with Section 3, where we can dive into Cammy's unraveling, Nate's moral dilemma, and the first hints of sabotage and betrayal, building suspense toward the mid-season climax. Cammy's world, once solid and unshakable, begins to crack under the weight of her own choices. Season 3 explores just how dangerous obsession can be when grief and pride collide. She is determined to prove herself as more than Monty's widow, more than just the caretaker of Mtex. She wants to be a leader in her own right, but ambition without allies can be deadly, and Cammy's insistence on forging ahead alone isolates her from those who once supported her. Nate, her closest confidant and the person who has always balanced her impulsiveness, is now caught in an impossible position. His loyalty to Cammy is unwavering, but his growing awareness of her obsession forces him to question. How far is she willing to go before the cost becomes irreversible? The mysterious documents left by Monty continue to cast a shadow over every decision Cammy makes. Each revelation feels like a piece of a puzzle designed to test her judgment, revealing just how meticulous Monty was in safeguarding his empire. Some documents suggest hidden partnerships and undisclosed debts, while others hint at strategies that could either salvage or destroy Mtex if applied correctly. Cammy's attempts to interpret and act on these secrets create high-stakes tension for viewers, who can sense that every decision is a step closer to either redemption or catastrophe. Her growing desperation is palpable. She is fighting to maintain control while simultaneously battling the fear that she might be losing everything Monty built. Meanwhile, Tommy's rise with CTT fuels Cammy's anxiety. The juxtaposition between her faltering Mtex and Tommy's rapidly ascending enterprise is striking. Every public move he makes, every investor meeting he dominates, and every team decision he executes is a reminder to Cammy and to the audience that power and influence are shifting. The tension isn't just professional, it is deeply personal. Cammy's pride won't allow her to accept defeat quietly, and her next moves are unpredictable, leaving viewers on edge with each scene. Nate's internal conflict becomes a central thread in this section. He is loyal, yes, but increasingly aware of Cammy's obsession clouding her judgment. Nate has always been the voice of reason, the anchor keeping Mtex from spiraling into chaos, yet he now realizes that reasoning with Cammy may not be enough. This creates a subtle but constant suspense. Will Nate choose loyalty, even if it risks disaster, or will he take steps to protect the company and others from Cammy's self-destructive path? His moral dilemma adds depth to the drama, highlighting how love, loyalty, and responsibility can collide in ways that are painful, complicated, and utterly compelling. Amid this tension, the first seeds of sabotage and betrayal begin to emerge. Rival executives, jealous investors, and even internal team members see opportunities in Mtex's vulnerability. Season 3 begins to hint at clandestine deals, whispers in the corridors, and strategic moves designed to exploit weaknesses. Cammy, blinded by her obsession, often misses the subtle cues that could warn her, and the audience experiences a rising sense of dread with every misstep she takes. The suspense is relentless. Viewers are left wondering who can be trusted, what alliances are real, and which characters are setting the stage for explosive confrontations. At the same time, Tommy's protective instincts for his son and his team create a counterpoint to Cammy's descent. He senses that Mtex's instability could threaten more than just market share. It could create danger for those he cares about. This sets up a thrilling dynamic. While Cammy fights alone, unaware of the risks around her, Tommy is strategically fortifying his position, ready to respond to both corporate and personal threats. Their paths are destined to collide in ways that will define the season, ensuring that every victory or loss carries profound consequences for both sides. By the end of Section 3, the tension has reached a boiling point. Cammy is isolated, desperate, and increasingly unpredictable. Nate's internal struggle adds suspense, and the subtle emergence of sabotage foreshadows explosive conflicts to come. Tommy, meanwhile, is calculating, strategic, and ready to defend his new empire at all costs. This section establishes the mid-season cliffhangers and sets up a complex web of intrigue, betrayal, and high-stakes power play that will keep viewers riveted, unable to look away as the drama unfolds. As Landman Season 3 progresses, the spotlight shifts increasingly to Tommy, whose rise is as much about strategy as it is about survival. Unlike Cammy, whose actions are often fueled by grief and pride, Tommy operates with a clear mind and a laser focus on protecting what matters most: his family, his team, and the future he envisions. Every move he makes is calculated, designed not only to strengthen CTT, but also to anticipate threats before they materialize. In boardrooms, investment meetings, and high-stakes negotiations, Tommy demonstrates a tactical brilliance that keeps the audience on edge, wondering how far he will push to secure victory. His drive isn't reckless. It's a precise blend of calculated risk and instinct, creating a suspenseful contrast with Cammy's increasingly erratic decision-making. Cammy, meanwhile, is spiraling. Her obsession with Mtex and the mysterious documents leads her to make choices that jeopardize her alliances and weaken her position. Ignoring Nate's warnings and dismissing the counsel of trusted associates, she presses forward, driven by pride and fear of failure. Each misstep compounds the tension. What once seemed like a fight to preserve Monty's legacy is becoming a battle she may not survive. The audience watches in suspense, knowing that Cammy's relentless pursuit of control could trigger irreversible consequences. Every time she takes a bold move, viewers are left holding their breath, questioning whether she will finally see reason or continue down a path of self-destruction. The shadow of Galino looms large over the narrative, adding a layer of danger that cannot be ignored. While Tommy secured his investment, Galino's motives remain murky. He smiles, signs checks, and plays the part of a supportive ally, but viewers understand that he is a man whose patience has limits and whose influence is absolute. Galino's potential betrayal adds a constant undercurrent of tension. Any misstep by Tommy or Cammy could provoke his wrath, and the consequences would be catastrophic. The audience is kept on the edge of their seats as subtle cues, whispered warnings, and tense encounters hint at a storm brewing just beneath the surface. The threat of Galino ensures that every victory is temporary and every setback carries enormous weight. Amid this high-stakes backdrop, Tommy's protective instincts for Cooper and his team intensify. His love for his son isn't just emotional, it drives his every decision. When Mtex's instability threatens to spill over into the lives of innocent people, Tommy is prepared to act, even if it means putting himself in danger. This protective edge adds a thrilling suspense, showing that Tommy isn't just playing a corporate game, he's prepared to fight in ways that are unpredictable and potentially devastating. The audience senses that his moral compass, while strong, can bend under pressure when those he loves are at risk, raising questions about how far he is willing to go to secure both justice and survival. Meanwhile, alliances and rivalries intensify across both companies. Inside Mtex, Cammy's misjudgments create opportunities for betrayal. Even loyal associates begin to question her decisions, creating a tense, unpredictable dynamic where trust is fragile. At the same time, CTT's cohesion is tested as Tommy must manage differing personalities, ambitions, and egos within his team. Every meeting, every deal, and every conflict within both companies adds layers to the suspense, building a complex web of intrigue that keeps viewers guessing. The tension is relentless because the audience knows that the smallest mistake could lead to enormous consequences, financial, personal, and even lethal. By the end of Section 4, the stage is primed for an explosive season climax. Tommy's strategic brilliance and protective instincts are at their peak. Cammy's obsession and miscalculations have isolated her, and Galino's looming threat hangs over everyone like a sword ready to fall. Season 3 is a careful balance of power, emotion, and suspense, where every choice can shift the balance and every action carries consequences. Viewers are left eager, anxious, and completely absorbed, anticipating a collision that promises to redefine the landscape of Landman forever. If you want, I can now write Section 5, the final section, where the season reaches its climax, resolving major conflicts, escalating betrayals, and hinting at potential setups for future seasons, all while keeping viewers on the edge of their seats. Season 3 reaches its boiling point as all the threads of ambition, loyalty, and revenge converge into a tense, high-stakes crescendo. Cammy's obsession with Mtex and Monty's mysterious documents has pushed her to a breaking point. Her pride blinds her to the cracks forming within her empire, and even Nate, who has been her anchor, begins to fear that she is teetering on the edge of disaster. Every decision she makes now carries monumental consequences, and the audience feels the weight of every misstep with her. The tension is relentless. Will she finally realize the danger she is in, or will her need for control lead to an irreversible collapse? Landman Season 3 promises to be a relentless journey through ambition, grief, strategy, and morality, combining personal stakes with high-powered business intrigue. It's a season where pride meets strategy, loyalty clashes with ambition, and every character is forced to confront the consequences of their choices. The audience emerges on the edge of their seats, fully immersed in a world where every decision can make or break not only a company, but the very people who define it.